All right, welcome to another edition of the Woods Finest podcast. We
Finest,
talking
finest,
about
finest.
the three lesser known African American heroes. But before we get started, you know I'm always joined by them two dudes. I'm saying what's up to my boy Kevzino. Kevzino, tell the people how you doing.
Doing good. The Lord let it snow last night in Charlotte and Virginia, so taking care of that. Hope everyone's safe and warm. But yeah, doing great.
Okay. All right, all right, all right, all right. And Kev, dang, Kev, I like you so much. I came to you twice, but I'm jumping you.
Came to you
Coach,
twice,
how you
brother. Yeah,
doing?
there it is. There it is. Yeah. You know, it's
Yeah.
me. It's me, Kev, number two. Number two, Kev. No, I'm
Hey,
doing
Coach.
good, man.
Hey,
I'm
Coach.
doing good.
We,
What's
Coach. We
up?
all have a little. We all have a little inner Kev in us.
You call
Oh,
me
boy.
Menage a
Hey,
trois.
hey.
Don't,
That's
let's not talk about the inner Kev. Let's not talk about
yeah.
the inner Kev.
Everybody got a little inner freak.
The inner Kev, yeah. Woo,
Yeah.
woo. And in some circles, it's known as the inner Kev. That's right. Inner Kev. That's right. But no, man, I'm doing good, man. Being appreciative of the blessings in my life, man. That's what I'm doing, man.
Is beautiful
Yeah,
and
yeah.
well said. Beautiful and well said. Appreciative of the blessings that we have. We have to do that more often. And I'm blessed because I'm surrounded by these two dope brothers right here. We're celebrating early. Well, you know what? It's always African American History Month because we are American history. And that's what we're about to jump into. Kev, what you got, man?
Well, all right. So let's lead this off with living people of color who 50 to 100 years from now might be thought of as like legendary type people. So I'm gonna lead it off with you, Griff, aka Sebastian from Once Bitten, who's a living
Oh,
person of color who 50 to 100 years from now who could be considered a living legend.
Sebastian from Once Bitten, and you even almost started laughing like that cat. Oh,
I ain't got nothing to say, but Kev, you a low down dirty shame. Low down dirty shame. Okay, I'm gonna start it off with somebody who I wasn't very appreciative of. Okay,
yeah.
but I am a huge fan of. Okay, and I'm gonna talk about this brother because I think he's gonna do some special things. I'm talking about the former coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike
Mm,
Tomlin. VA's on two
mm.
up, two down. I think he's been very outspoken on social issues, equality. He's such a great leader of men. I believe that he's going to make it into the Hall of Fame, number one. Number two, I believe he's going to use that platform to do some great things. And I'm so glad that he stopped kicking my team's butt. So I'm glad that the brother has retired from the NFL,
Mm.
number one. Like I said, I do believe he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and I do believe that he's going to use that platform to advance social issues and causes that are going to be very, very instrumental in um, bringing this country back to a place of unity and peace. So that's my guy,
There it is.
Alpha Psi
Mike.
is one of the brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi.
Okay, all right, big ups,
Leadership
big
Mm.
in
ups.
every field of human endeavors.
Well, there it is.
Sound like he read from the brochure, right, Coach?
I'm about to say a little promo. That brother came with a straight promo, but I like it. I like it. I
Yeah,
like it.
I like it too. All right,
Yeah, man.
Coach, why don't
Nope.
you jump
Who
in
you
since
got?
Kev is? Yeah,
I was
Coach, why
about
don't
to
you
say I
jump?
was waiting for Kev to ask me, but I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and go with mine. This one is to me. This one was pretty easy. You know, when you said a African American man that or woman, it could have been man or
Yes,
woman. I'm sorry, that
yes.
people would have been talking about 50 to 100 years from now. And it's funny now that I say that because it could really be either one of these people. But I'm gonna go with Barack Obama. But
Mm,
side note, I'm gonna also go with Michelle Obama.
absolutely.
I'm gonna go with the Obamas as a whole, as a matter of fact, because people will definitely be talking about not only number one was he the first African American president, right? but the way that he did things with dignity, even though people were trying to hold him back, people were talking about him and saying things about him that were just, not true about him not being an American citizen, or that, he was this, he was that. We're not even going to go into those things. What we are going to go into is that 50 to 100 years from now, he will still be remembered, whereas the people that were talking about him and saying things about him will be remembered as a joke, or almost like the movie Idiocracy.
Hmm.
And I'm going to leave that to you to dig in and find out what that's about. But yeah, I'm going with Barack Obama, man. He's definitely going to be talked about for many, 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 many years to come, as well as Michelle Obama, because she showed you how to deal with things with grace, right? And that's the thing that really, I'm sorry, I'm going off on a little tangent. Y'all just give me one
Nah,
second
nah,
here.
you good. Keep going.
Um, that's the thing that really, I think, caused people to flip and sort of revert back to where we are now socially,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is that it was things were starting to change to where it was looked down upon to maybe say racist things or do racist things in public, and it was you were supposed to maybe take the higher road as to trying to cut someone down or talk about them for certain reasons or whatever you want to do. And now all of a sudden that seems to be okay when it wasn't okay, and it was getting to a standard where it was more likely that it wasn't okay than it was okay, and now it's more back to it's okay to do it. At least that's what some people think anyway.
I
That's just
agree.
my 2 bits. Barack Obama, that's what I'm going with. Sorry that went off on a tangent.
I believe it, and I
Good.
love it. Yeah, can I just say one of my favorite quotes from the iconic Obama family? Michelle said, "When they go low, we go high." That's right. I love it. I love it, Coach. Love it,
You're reading
Coach.
my mind.
Yeah, Kev, what you got, man?
Well, I almost picked Michelle Obama and was about to mention that same exact quote. So I'm glad great minds think alike. Um, since Colt went with Michelle Obama,
I
and
went with I went with
truthfully,
Barack.
well, you went
I went
Barack,
with
but
both of
you
them.
also gave her
Yeah, I used
a
both of
major
them.
shout
Yeah,
out, right? Well, unfortunately, today there it wasn't, in my mind, huge list of people to pick from for this particular question. So hopefully that'll change in the future. I went with somebody who I just have high hopes for the future. That could be the next major leader, person of color. And for that person, I picked Keisha Lance Bottoms. Now, she recently was the mayor of Atlanta. She no longer is the mayor. It's not like she got defeated in a vote or anything like that. She's going to be running for the governor of Georgia, right? Which, Georgia, that's normally a Republican state, but they're really trying to flip things and enfranchise people rather than all the disenfranchisement that's been going on recently in many
Excuse me.
states. And she just is a person of very high character, right? Gets things done, knows how to accomplish results throughout the government. So she's someone who hopefully will continue on an upward trajectory. And 50 to 100 years from now, maybe she'll be thought of as a living legend. Maybe she'll be the first female president. Who knows? Hopefully that'll be the case. That's the person that I'm picking for person of color that 50 to 100 years from now might be thought of as a legend.
Okay, and I like all the choices. I'm gonna give you a little bit of pushback. I think there are so many amazing African American men and women who are doing something, and sometimes we don't see them or get wind of them enough. But even in Georgia with Stacey Abrams, who I think should be a player in the political game, in my personal opinion, I think because of the way that she looks, I think she's not going to get a chance, which is really, really ignorant on the behalf of the American voter. But I do believe she flipped Georgia from a Republican to a Democratic state, especially when Biden was running. So I'm a huge fan of
You
hers.
did a major part in moving
Definitely a
things
major part.
forward. Yeah,
definitely made their part. So and I believe that there's so many others that are doing such incredible work. And so that's my only segue into that. So
yeah.
let's go ahead and jump into our three lesser known um African American heroes. We're gonna teach the people. We're gonna give them some love. We're gonna share a little insight with some short, brief snippets of people who they should check out. Kev, we're gonna come back to you since you got your ho 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 hat on. Merry Christmas. Kev, who is your first lesser known African
All right.
American hero?
Well, due to the ho 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 hat, I got to start this off with the women. All respect to women, though. All right. So this
How does
first
that
person,
doesn't no
lesser
Kev,
known,
no Kev, no
lesser
Kev.
known
How does that respect
person's
the
name,
women, Kev?
Alice
Your wife,
Parker.
hey, your wife gonna smack hot fire at you later. That's all I'm gonna
Hey,
say.
I'm saying all respect to women, but you mentioned the hat, right? I wore it strictly because it's snowing outside and, that type of wintry theme. But I see where your mind's working there,
Ooh.
Sebastian. So anyhow, I'm gonna move this on to positive stuff for people. So I'm
Uh-huh.
mentioning Alice H. Parker. Now, um, in 1919, she played a major part in inventing the heating furnace, right? Which we all can appreciate right now. Snow outside, super cold, right? So she only lived 35 years,
Hmm.
right? Actually, only 25 years. I made a mistake for that. But her heating furnace used natural gas and became the standard for the way that HVAC, techs, and forced air systems are used today. But back then, it was never implemented due to government regulations and bureaucracy because it was a game changing type of invention.
Hmm.
So think about it. She only lived 25 years. All right. She made that invention 1 year before she passed away. And that standard is now used universally for heating and HVAC type of systems.
I
So,
wonder how much money her family gets from that.
absolutely zero because they
I'm
never
about to say because,
had it to get
because
implemented.
yeah,
Yep.
because
That's how
somebody,
they
yep,
do us.
yep,
Oh,
not
yeah.
gonna say nothing else about that one.
Yeah,
Alrighty,
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
Okay. You know what? You're gonna bat third in this. I'm gonna go quick, real quick.
okay.
Y'all have heard of this brother right here. And I know when we were middle school, high school, this brother was just getting really established politically. So far before Barack Obama, y'all gonna remember this brother in 1990 to 1994. The first African American governor in the
I know he's
United
gonna wait.
States,
Oh wow.
Douglas Wilder. Yes, yes,
Yes, sir.
yes.
Yes.
Big ups to him. Not only was he financially responsible with this and a good steward with the state's money, he was an advocate for HBCUs and did a lot of financial well goodness with that, and was also an advocate for civil rights. We knew him because we from two up, two down, VA all day.
Sure. There it is.
But the first, can y'all? I mean, that's not that long ago. 1990,
Yeah,
the
it's not.
first African American governor in the United States. Big ups L. Douglas Wilder, my lesser known African American hero. Colt, what you got? Who's your first one, brother?
All right. Well, my first one, I'm gonna see. Y'all ever heard of Robert Smalls before? Either one of y'all heard of Robert Smalls?
Um, Colt, you better shut your mouth because he was my third one and my favorite one. I am so. How did you do this? How? You know, before you even jump into Mr. Smalls, this is so crazy.
Hmm.
This is true
Hmm.
to the heart. When I found out about this brother,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, I
Look,
said, I said,
that's
I said,
yeah,
if I wanted to do a movie on someone, it would be him because nobody knows who he is, and his
yeah.
story
Don't
is
nobody. Yeah,
no.
amazing. This
Go,
brother was
go.
born a slave,
Yes.
stole a ship from the Confederacy, freed himself and his family, then took the ship, brought it to the Union, said, hey, y'all go and take that, get together. I got all this intelligence on here and all this other stuff. And
Yup.
then became a U.S. congressman.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
you will never hear about this, never heard of him.
You know what? I was in
Until I did my research, he was an honorable mention on my list.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I found him through my research.
Yep,
yeah.
Had
exactly.
no
That's how I
idea who
found
he
him.
was.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So, but see,
He's
what's crazy is that all three of us found him.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh man. His story
But
needs
he's
to be
not a
told.
commonly known guy, so that's
He's
fits
not.
Yeah,
perfectly in the
yeah.
list.
Not at
He
all.
his story is so fantastic, and I know Coach, we just gave him an overview. Let's not give him the full details,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
if Hollywood is not willing to do his movie, maybe we need to do it, because that dude's story is freaking phenomenal. So,
Phenomenal.
Coach,
Yeah.
big ups to you for picking Robert Smalls, the third man on my list. I'm mad, but I'm glad. So let's keep it rolling. Kev, who you got as your number two, brother?
So you're gonna skip your guy?
No, he said
I
Because
it.
did.
three.
I did.
No, you said three. All right, I got you. All right.
You were first. I went with L. Douglas Wilder. Now
Yeah.
it's back to you,
Yeah.
sir.
All right. So I'm going with Frederick M. Jones, middle name McKinley. Anybody ever hear of Thermo King
No.
Company? Well, it's like the biggest thing around for portable air conditioning or air cooling units for trucks. Um, Not just used for like AC type stuff. Anybody who's transporting food, blood, medicine, they all use Thermo King. It's the biggest operation around for that type of thing. But this guy, in 1960, invented the thermostat. All right. Also, 1939, like he had 61 patents. All right.
Mm.
Now, 40 of them involve refrigeration type of tech, which kind of plays into Thermo King. But in 1939, lesser known invention still used, or at least was used up until maybe 15, 20 years ago. Ticket dispensing machine. So that was huge back then. Thermostat still used everywhere by
To
everyone.
this day.
Um, and
The
this guy,
ticket dispensing machine still used everywhere this day. You can go to a parking garage. That's a
yeah,
spit out ticket.
I forgot about that. Um,
Yep.
yeah. This guy, he had an Irish father, black mother. He won the National Medal of Technology. He's in the National Inventors Hall of Fame. With the ticket dispensing machine, they say he revolutionized the cinema industry. Not just for that, but he created like a superior sound system for projectors. Right. So, I mean, again, the guy's got 61 patents. Um, he developed a portable x ray machine. Right. So, now that one he didn't patent. So, I talked about the 61 patents. That's one of the ones, his inventions that he didn't patent. But
But
still,
somebody else did.
yeah, exactly. Um, And also, when we were talking about Thermo King and it being used for like transporting blood and all of that, it was used exclusively by the military in World War II. After that, he allowed other companies to use it for commercial use. But, I mean, his family is living large off of that.
Good.
Today,
Fantastic.
Good. Yeah.
being
Yes,
able to
that's what
have the patents allows him not only to be famous, but to pass his genius and wealth onto his family for generations to come. So big up to Frederick McKinley Jones.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, my second person is someone I think that you guys are gonna have heard of as well. Cautionary tale as well. Just like the first person you spoke of, Kev. So my second person was also born in Virginia, to be exact, Roanoke. Got a lot of family from Roanoke. Um, the immortal Henrietta Lacks. Y'all heard of
There
Henrietta
she is.
Lacks?
I do know who
Well,
she is. Yes, yes,
her,
sir. I do.
they say she had immortal blood cells, these cells that can regenerate. But the thing is, they used her DNA to like do gene maps to
Modern medicine.
yeah,
Let's say
and
that.
they
Modern medicine.
combat viruses, all those
Yeah,
things
yeah. They off of
um
her blood.
off of
Yep.
her blood. So big ups to all the queens out there doing their thing because the original woman is still king,
Need that. You
queen,
need that. Look, you need that pure
everything.
source. You need that pure
That pure
source.
source that can cure almost anything. So big ups to her. The cautionary part of this is this. If you are familiar with a lot of the um, DNA sites out there, let's just say like a ancestry site where people ask you for swabs of your DNA, do you know that they can use whatever information they have? Let's just say there's something special about you, and there's something special about you, brothers. Kev, something that is super special about you, but they can use that information to generate medicine in any form or fashion and not give you a piece of the action. So you
Yeah.
get no money financially for any of that information you volunteer. So if you are or you know somebody who is going to submit their DNA to one of those sites, tell them don't do it because they can use it in any way they want.
Yeah,
Don't
because
do it.
you're relinquishing it.
Yeah, your rights are gone. They can use it in
Yep.
any way they want, and you will be broke and they will be rich. So don't do it.
There it
Coach,
is.
what you got, man?
There it
Who's your
is.
second person?
My second person. Have y'all ever heard of Bayard Rustin?
Yeah. They had a movie
I
about him recently, but I didn't know about him until that movie.
Yeah. So he was the chief organizer of the March on Washington, where Dr. Martin Luther King gave his "I Have a Dream" speech. He was
love
a
it.
key strategist of the nonviolent protests, and he was an advisor to Martin Luther King Jr. But he was often overlooked and has been erased from history because he was an openly gay black man at that time. So, a key takeaway I would say from Bayard Rustin is that movements don't succeed without architects, and he was one of the best.
Perfect way to put it. And also a perfect description for why he's been overlooked for so many years. Because he
Yep.
was like really the guy doing all the heavy lifting for the stuff.
Yeah.
This wasn't the figurehead
Yep.
of it because of what you mentioned, right?
Yep. Yep.
The you know what's key about that, Coach, and you said everybody, all we all need that architect behind a strategist. But I would say that about us as a people, we need teams. The great Chuck D said, "Move as a team, never move alone." Welcome to the Turd Dome.
Hey,
I love
hey.
it. I love
You
it.
know,
I love
Come
Progressive
on
Griff
down.
always
Get
got to
down. Get
shout out
down.
his
Come to the
original
it.
Thunderdome.
Public
that's
Enemy.
that's coming from your
Hey.
boy, Professor Griff. All right.
It's the S1Ws.
Oh man.
You know I got
Yeah,
the
man.
S1Ws behind me, Kev. I got the S1Ws behind me. All right, Kev, what you got? What's your third one, man?
Speaking of the S1Ws, fight the power just like Public Enemy would say. So this
Yup.
person, I'm mentioning him third, but he really, if I had to rank these people,
Hmm.
he'd be number one in terms of
Ooh. Okay.
importance.
Okay.
And you're starting to hear about him now because it's like the anniversary of some of the major things that he did in his life. But Paul Robeson is the person who I'm picking. So not only did this guy play in the NFL, not only was he a huge theatrically trained singer and performer and actor. He was on Broadway. I'll talk about some of that stuff. He was also probably his biggest contribution was for being a political activist. But this guy was born in the 1800s, now late 1800s, 1898 to 1976. He was an All American at Rutgers, right? Academic scholarship, last valedictorian. He also went to Columbia Law School while playing in the NFL. So that's just crazy when you think about
Huge.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but He
And wait,
gained
wait,
most of
Kev,
his.
I'm sorry, Kev, 1 second. I don't mean to cut you off, but you said this was during the 70s, right?
Well, he died in 1976. He was born in 1898.
Okay, so we're talking about early 1900s, like 1920 something, 1930 maybe. He's going to college or whatever. No, we're talking about early 19. So he had to go back
Probably about.
to the college to go to classes and stuff. They had no satellite class back then.
Yeah,
Had no
exactly.
internet.
Yes, I didn't even think about that. So that's even more.
I'm sorry, that part just blew my mind, Kev. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
man. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I definitely get it. But I mean, you would think nowadays, right? If the NFL is your thing, and this guy was a star player, right?
Yeah.
That's your thing. But that was definitely not even close to what he was most well known for. Um, probably just his Broadway stuff. Like I mentioned, that this guy, major singer and actor, and Harlem Renaissance type era. But for um, you guys probably remember this song because joke around when you hear it. But Old Man River, it was like Old Man River. So they say to this day that's still considered like the benchmark rendition for anybody in the future when they're singing that song, right? And around 1935, the guy started a long-term friendship with Albert Einstein. It was mainly based on hatred of racism and fascism, right? Which people can relate to today based on things going on in the government. I won't get too much into that. But in terms of the political activism that I respect him the most for, like, he was supporting India and Spanish independence against Nazis. In 1943, he became the first black person to play Othello on Broadway. It says the performance of Othello ran for 296 shows, which is still considered to be a record for Broadway, right? And then around 1946, coming back to his political activism. So he was speaking up for civil rights. FBI put him on the watch list and started pressuring U.S. companies and theaters to stop his performances. All right. So all this stuff's related in certain ways. You can be multi talented, but if even if you're doing the right thing, if you're going against people that are trying to disenfranchise you, they're going to try to shut you down. But this guy didn't care. He was like, I'll just make money and make a name for myself a different way. Never let
Yeah.
it stop him. So big up to him, Paul Robeson, number one on my list, even though I mentioned him third.
Okay, very good, very good. Paul Robeson,
Paul Roberson. Okay.
the great Paul.
Okay.
Okay, so my last person on the list is the great Frederick Jones. Okay, and he revolutionized the cooling AC technology by making it transportable. So if you like your fruits and vegetables stay cold when they get to the grocery store, if you don't like them rotten,
Mm.
you might want to thank this
Yes.
brother. If you
Yeah.
like cool AC in the summertime in your car,
You might
you
want to
might
thank this.
want to say thank you to a
Thank you,
brother
brother.
who put in some work because I
A
know
little bit of
sometimes
word.
it gets hot outside. You know
A
what I'm
little
talking about?
hot. A little heat
So
in the back.
lot of I forgot to mention. I feel like Arsenio Hall. I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
forgot to
yeah, there
mention
it is.
my boy LD Larry David over there in the corner. I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
when he sang "Old Man River." It made me think back to curb your enthusiasm. LD, I appreciate your performance.
Hey, right now, dog, I'm just waiting for you to say, ladies, go ahead, turn around for a second, ladies. Let me just say, there's a God somewhere. Let me say it again. There is a God somewhere. Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you
real
very
quick,
much.
it's kind of
I also
crazy.
like to take time to thank Cleo McDowell for the 5-2. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Uh, I did have it sound like a sermon. I did have it
Yeah,
sound
yeah,
like a.
you did, you
I
did,
did.
you
I did.
did,
I did.
you
I did.
did,
Kev,
you
were
did.
you about to say something?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that, some of us have mentioned some of the same people. So Frederick Jones, Cope had somebody else that you had said on your list there, and then you talking about air conditioning. I was about to say, getting hot in here like Nelly kind of ties into Keisha Lance Bottoms. So not Apple Bottoms, but Lance Bottoms. But hopefully
Lance
she's going to
Bob.
be the next one
This brother,
on the list. So,
this brother come full circle, but somehow figured out how to throw an apple bottom in there.
Lord have
Only,
mercy.
only,
getting
only
hot
this
in
brother,
here.
man.
But
Only this
Frederick
brother
Jones
would
has
come
got you
back to the
covered
bottles.
with Thermo King and cooling you
LD.
off.
If you never
Mm.
seen Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Yes, well, I know who Larry David is.
yes,
I
that
know who
is
he
the
is.
Kev is Larry David 2.0.
Mm. That's hilarious, man.
Woo! All right, take us home. Take us home. Take us home.
Okay, anybody familiar with Claudette Colvin?
Claudette Colvin?
Yes. Anybody?
Nope. Nope.
Kev?
I think I've heard of the name, but I can't remember
Yeah, I can say I've
Okay.
heard the
exactly.
name, but I'm not gonna tell you. I
Okay.
remember what
She
she did.
she actually refused to give up her seat on the bus before Rosa Parks ever did. Her
Kind
case
of ties into some people
was a
starting
yeah.
stuff.
Her case was essential to dismantling bus segregation, and she was only 15 years old at the time when it happened. She didn't necessarily fit the image that they were trying to present, so
Right.
that's probably why she was overlooked. And the takeaway from this is that history prefers neat stories, but bravery is usually messy. So
Ooh.
she was someone that was instrumental to what Rosa Parks did, but if it wasn't for this girl here, it probably would have never even gotten the ball rolling. So it's important that she's remembered as well. So there you go, Claudette Colvin.
Your boy Bayard Rustin. Similar thing, right? You got to have a lot of people working the wheel, getting the stuff going. You're not always
Yeah.
going to be considered the leader, right? But you got to put in the work
Hey,
to get the results.
let let's say this right here. New
Also,
Edition.
15 years
Eh,
old. Man, that's
Look, think
crazy.
about New Edition. Ralph Tresvant is great singing in the front, but if it wasn't for Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, and Johnny too, let me include, they wouldn't be New Edition. It would just be Ralph Tresvant. So you need all of those things to make something great, and
Yep.
it is true that there will always be someone that is at the forefront. There's always going to be someone that everybody's going to gravitate to, but that person wouldn't even be who they were if it wasn't for all the other pieces behind them.
Absolutely. I love everything that you just said. You said so much in a short period of time. You said bravery or history's also. You said it's messy, right?
Yeah, bravery is usually messy, man. It
Ooh,
is.
that's wild because I mean, think about what the consequences could have been for someone refusing to give up their seat back then. Now, a lot of people don't know the struggle. Like they could have done anything they wanted to in some back alley and beat you until
No,
there's no
not even on a back alley grip.
yeah,
They could have dragged you off the bus right there in front of everybody and did
and
whatever they wanted, and
whatever.
nobody would have did anything.
Yeah, they could. I mean, I think you're a little bit removed from hanging people in public, but you could sick dogs on people. You could
Yeah,
hit them with a high power.
we are a little bit removed from that.
Yeah, we a little bit. And it wasn't
A
that
little,
long
I
ago.
mean,
A little bit. A little bit.
we're born '75. They were doing that kind of stuff to people in the early '60s. They was doing that stuff. So and
That's
don't be
why.
wrong, they still do that kind of stuff to this day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I worked with a group of seniors and they told me, and I thought they were joking. They said there are some parts of the deep south, Alabama, Mississippi, they said they still do not look white people in the eye. I said, you have got to be joking. I said,
No,
there's
they're
no
not.
way.
They're
And
not. They're not.
I said, it's 2026. There's,
But but see, you're talking about certain people that's all they've ever known. Now, see what that person is telling you is that you would go down to this area and they would know right away that you weren't from there. Now, they might
yeah.
not say nothing, do nothing to you, but they're
Yep.
gonna know right away that you are not from around there.
Yep. That's what they said. I said, so what happened? I go there, look them in the eye when I go to the gas station and whatnot. They're gonna be like, pull you to say, hey, you're not from around here, already know. Well, you might not want to be here when the sun go down. Okay, you might not want to be around because something bad might happen to you. Okay, so that might
Sundown town.
sundown towns. You got to keep
Yeah,
rolling. But the revolution needs to continue, and I think the beautiful thing that you two brothers point
Be
out is
televised.
you got to do it as a team, man. If you can just link with a couple of good people, there's the impact can be huge because, like you said, Coach, Martin Luther King couldn't have done it by himself. He didn't do it all by himself. He
yeah,
might be the head. He has done a lot. We're not discrediting anything. What we're saying is there's some other people who are instrumental in bringing his voice to life, who did a lot of
yeah.
the stuff, a lot of the planning, a lot of the strategizing to make his dream real for us and a better place for us. So we have to
That's it.
collectively,
He knew how to deliver the dream to the people. He knew how to give that speech and inspire and get people to understand what he was saying. But there was a group of people behind him that were great at coordinating, getting the event together, making sure there wasn't violence, making sure there was security, making sure they had permits to have that many people there. There were so many things that they had. There was probably so many hoops they had to jump through just because they were black people trying to do something like that in DC, in that area at that time.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So they had not only had to go through the regular, but what else did they have to go through? So
and,
yeah,
and
there takes a lot.
and
Takes
the
a lot.
part of the crazy part of the story is back when Dr. King was alive. Did they view him as a hero? No. They
No,
said he
not
was
at
a
all.
troublemaker. They said he was instigating. He was doing all these things, and they hated him for it. Now the story has changed. They put him on the calendar as a holiday, which so he deserves
And
over and over
put
Yeah.
again.
other Confederate
But
heroes on the same holiday.
absolutely, absolutely to discredit him. But it's crazy
Wait,
how this.
okay, hold on, wait, hold on. I'm sorry, Griff. I don't mean to
Go
cut you
ahead.
off.
Hey, jump in, brother. Jump
Uh,
in.
Kev, you just said something that is it's oxymoron.
Yeah, yeah.
A Confederate hero. Let's talk about that for just one
Rejects King
second.
Day. What kind of thing is that, man?
Let's talk
That's
about it for
like,
1 second. What other country? What other war have you ever seen anybody have a celebration of the people that lost? Why do you lose a war and then you put up monuments to the people that you beat? The people that you look, people that you fought a war to say that what they were fighting the war was for was wrong.
yeah, exactly. That's the biggest thing. It's anything
That's
if
exactly
they
why you
were
fought
just
them. You
right.
didn't fight them to say, hey, I want your land. You didn't fight them to say, hey, I think you're just cute. No, you fought them because you said what they were doing was wrong. And now you want to have monuments to them, national holidays to them. You want to name your military bases after them. There's more to that than a celebration of. You
Just
don't
after
do
them.
it. Let me ask you something. You ever get in a fight and beat somebody, and then you go home and get a tattoo of their name? Have
Right.
you ever seen? You ever seen somebody in a UFC fight beat somebody and then they go and put a monument up to this person in their house? You don't do that.
That's right.
And so what I'm saying is to anybody that's listening to me, but explain that logic to me. Can you please explain to me where you have ever in your life beat someone at something and then went home and built monuments to them or had a day to celebrate them?
Yeah. Yeah. That's so eloquently put, my brother. I appreciate that.
I'm
And you know
sorry,
what?
sorry about that,
Oh,
Kev. I
hey,
just had to
no,
say it.
That's good.
yeah, that was. Hey, I love it. I love it. You know what I love? I love the passion. I love it when we have something that we're like that gets you fired up. You know, I love it
Yeah,
when you
man.
brothers get fired up. I'm always the fired up person, but y'all, I love it when y'all are fired up. I love that
You
here.
know, Sebastian's always fired up, man.
Oh, here
Boy, he
you
gonna be
go.
calling you that forever, brother. That's
Hey,
your new
look, that's
nickname
good.
this week.
Hey, Kev, did anybody ever tell you like Fat Joe on Ozempic?
This dude is
hey, hey,
oh man.
you may not be Fat Joe, but you medium Joe. How about that? Man, hey, hey, Kev, Kev, you keep messing with me. You keep messing with me.
Medium Joe. This boy silly,
Medium.
man.
But yeah,
Yeah, we
all
done
right,
went. I'm
bro.
sorry, we strayed all off topic. My bad. My bad. All
You
off
gotta
topic.
have fun with it. You gotta have fun with it. So nobody went off track. We kept it real today. So I love that. What you got, Kev?
Let me bring this back on topic real quick to close out the show.
You real quick.
Okay, let me sit back and enjoy this.
Hey, Coach, did you say oxymoron? You?
Real quick.
I'm
I'm
gonna
ready.
try not
I'm
to
ready
be
for it.
Uncle Phil E.
Oh,
Buster here, but
Yeah,
so
you
Coach had
Buster.
mentioned something really powerful previously when he was talking about some of the people and bringing in new addition, right? So the show called Lesser Known Heroes, right? Or
mhm.
People of Color, Lesser Known
Yeah,
People of
yeah.
Color Heroes. Not everybody can be Ralph Tresvant, a guy with sensitivity, picked to lead the group. Sometimes it takes everybody else in the group to take every little step, like B. Brown would say, to accomplish
Look
the
at this brother.
mission,
Look at this.
right?
Let me go let this brother work. Go ahead, cook, Kev. Go ahead,
And there
cook,
you
Kev.
go. So, we always like to bring music into it. I thought that was a perfect way, and I thought that was a genius way for you to bring things up, Coach. So big up to you for that.
Love that. Love that. Every little step. That's what's up. I love
Mhm.
it when these brothers bring the passion. I love that we brought the passion for three lesser known African American heroes. We're going to try to we're celebrating Black History all year long, but especially for the next 6 or 7 weeks, we're going to try to bring something new, something funky, something good to the people. So I love it. I love the energy today, fellas. For my boy, Medium Joe, aka
Lean
Kevzina.
back. Lean back. Lean back. Lean back.
Hey,
Oh man, y'all
hey,
crazy,
Coach.
man.
All medium Joe does is stand up. He don't lean back. He stand up.
I said my brothers don't dance. We just chilling up there and say, do the stand up today. So stand up. Stand up. So stand up. This boy is killing them today, Griffiths. Batting 1,000 today. Batting a
Oh
thousand.
man, oh man, oh man, oh man. For my boy Coat, it's your boy Griff. As usual, it's been another episode of the Woods Finest Podcast. We appreciate your viewership and we wouldn't have it any other way. We would love for you to subscribe, to write us, to email us, to tell us what you think. We welcome all people. We love y'all, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Woods Finest Podcast.
Comment,
Peace.
subscribe.